Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and these are things I learned with Mid-one's Invoker in 7.06. Let's talk about drawing aggro and trades in general. A lot of people know how to draw aggro and get creeps easier, but it's kind of a habit of most people to only click the enemy hero to draw aggro, which can be fine, but look how Mid-one approaches drawing aggro against the Shadow Fiend. He attacks him once, and it takes some time until the creeps latch onto him. So in the end, Invoker got 2 attacks on Shadow Fiend, while SF only got 1. Usually harassing SF at level 1 is one of the easiest ways of dealing with him in the lane, since he thrives on getting souls from last hits, and if you start harassing him, he's gonna have to back, use regen. The real problem in this game is that this is a Shadow Fiend with a clockwork. He starts the game with way more attack than normal. That's 16 extra damage to Shadow Fiend, so trading here seems less effective than it normally would be. Mid-one can also pull that off because Invoker has 100 range advantage compared to Shadow Fiend. Another very cool thing we can see Mid-one doing here is harassing SF instead of trying to go for the last hit. A lot of people tunnel vision last hitting in the lane, and sometimes they forget that they can get the last hit and at the same time harass the enemy mid. SF has better projectile speed and damage than Invoker, so getting that last hit is not easy. By attacking instead of competing with SF, he deals damage to him while he also secures that creep. Simple yet powerful stuff. The problem this game though, as I stated, is how strong SF started in the lane. As he gets more levels though, he can use Alacrity to secure last hits.
Yeah, he's so good. Fuck, dude.
We talk a lot in this channel about using aggro to set up kills. Our 9k fighter gets baited into mid-raise range, and even though he realizes it, he's already a broken monitor.
Oh shit, I'm dead. Oh my god.
A lot of Invoker players pop Alacrity when the enemy creeps are dying and use it mainly as a last hitting tool. In this game though, Enigma is hitting the range creep fairly often, meaning that it takes way more time for dire creeps to be on last hit threshold than his own creeps. Mid-one denies every single creep in his lane. First of all, since the lane is slightly on his side, he has the luxury of standing closer to deal with the fact he has less damage and projectile speed than Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend tries to use aggro to secure the creep, and most players would maybe use Alacrity to deny the creep that was dying closer to him, trading 1 for 1. Mid-one knows that if he wants to deny both of them, he needs to Alacrity right now, or else the other creep will die. And that's exactly what he does here. 2 denies for 1 punch in the face. Pretty reasonable. Again, when the creep wave pushes, look how he keeps using his safetiness to attack from super close range. This means he doesn't need to use Alacrity right now, saving mana and cooldown for more opportune situations. As soon as Shadow Demon shows up, he buys his magic wand instead of boots. Against a combo like Shadow Demon and Shadow Fiend, boots is not going to be the way to escape these ganks. First of all, SF and Shadow Demon use a lot of spells, which means that this can be enough for him to turn the fight against them. Also, Invoker with boots has marginally the same move speed than SF without boots. He got first blood on him, so running away isn't the answer in a situation like this. He does state that Quas would be better, but it's only better after you know you're dead, so he tried to be greedy and got punished by it.
Must be something wrong, right? Of course, there's someone ganking me, guys. Of course, dude. I wish I have one level of Quas instead of this wax shit.
Mid-one starts massaging his ego,
I'm not afraid of you. You think you kill me twice, you win me lane?
and Shadow Demon shows up once again. In a situation like this, Ghost Walk was suicide since he is too slow to dodge a raise, but he clicks on SF before leaving Disruption, giving him the expertise to choose the better spell. I also want to mention something. When Shadow Demon comes back, Mid-one doesn't utilize his mana randomly. He knows he can't kill any of those heroes with his levels and no boots. This mana that he saves is going to be important later on, so keep watching. Okay, so this is the first kill. Mid-one asks for a ward, and they wrap around to kill Shadow.
Just give me one ward and I'll be fine.
If Mid-one has spent his mana with a random Cold Snap for instance, he wouldn't have enough to get his kill here. Yeah, he could have spent his magic stick, you're right, but how would he survive this other gank that happens right after? Also, pay attention how he only casts Cold Snap after Rubik's Lift ended. People tend to use Cold Snap first or randomly because of its huge range and instant cast time, but these little imperfections can cost you ganks like this. I mean, he doesn't survive necessarily because of the magic wand, but if he didn't have such a burst of HP, maybe Dire would commit more for the kill and deny up killing him. After all, Shadow Fiend had haste here.
He's asking me to back, so I'm just wondering if somebody's ganking me or some shit.
Watch again though, he survives because he did two very important things. The creep wave is pushing, right? So if Shadowfiend wants to dive mid one, he's going to fight all those creeps. There were 3 heroes there, and he could cast Cold Snap on only one of them. Which one is going to give him a harder time? That's Shadowfiend for sure. By casting Cold Snap, Shadowfiend can't burst him. He also waits to be in the perfect position to clip 3 heroes with Tornado, surviving. Another thing we can note on mid 1 playing is his awareness, not only to taunt and mock his teammate, but he knows Clock is close on getting level 6, and as soon as he gets it, mid 1 summons one baby to die for him in case Clock YOLOs.
Fuck, you can do it. It's gonna be 6 soon, and he wants to kill me. See his mid move? Back off.
As he comes back to the lane, see how he keeps every instance in Quas to regen faster? When he's less hitting under the tower, he also toggles between them to have less hitting potential and HP regen at the same time. I talked about how much mid 1 abuses Cold Snap on Shadowfiend. He's one of those heroes that gets super hurt by the skill because of his long cast time. Look how mid 1 reacts to this clockwork gank on Rubik. A lot of players would either tunnel vision on Clock, maybe sunstrike the interior of Cogs, maybe run towards Rubik. Instead, he starts attacking Shadowfiend with Cold Snap. He is the follow-up damage that Dire needs, and in the end, not only completely ignoring Rubik actually saves him, he also almost gets a kill because of it. He also manages to get this kill on Shadow Demon with Clinks, and pay attention how he brings the Midas recipe, but also a clarity. This is not the first or the last one he fares for himself to keep that level of farm and aggression. After a while, mid 1 goes back to the base, and I want to show something here that might feel weird for you. As he regens, he watches Razor pushing the top tower. He sunstrikes him, but doesn't TP to defend. Part of it's Razor's build. He's ultra fast with those items, and even if mid 1 TPs and uses Ghost Walk, Razor will drain a lot of attack and siege even faster. That's not the only thing though. Invoker is a greedy bastard, a mid anti-mage, whatever you want to call it. He wants to farm the mid lane, farm those mid camps, meteor ancients, and all that fun stuff. If he TPs top, not only he doesn't have the means to defend the tower, he also won't be as safe farming or have as much creeps than in the mid lane. Be very wary of your TPs in this part of the game because it can hurt you later on. They find Razor sightseeing Radiant's ancient area and pay attention to mid 1's decision making.
What's my axe doing? What the fuck is this Razor doing?
Instead of walking around or using Sunstrike, that deals a lot of damage, yes, but not as much as a Meteor. He goes in that spot to land a beautiful one. He doesn't overcommit mana, and that's something that comes with time, and is also showcased here when Shadow Demon ults mid 1. He summons the Tornado, but he doesn't commit the skill unless it's needed. Invoker is a hero that suffers a lot with mana regen early on, not only because the core build is Midas into Eggs, but also because his farm and getting kills is dependent on using mana. So it's super easy to overuse mana, maybe get some kills, but then lose a lot of time going back to the base, or the opposite, and just not farm and get kills fast enough. In this game in particular, he also needs to go Force before Aghanim Scepter, another item that doesn't give mana regen. X initiates SF top, mid 1 helps with a Sunstrike, but how many times did he left that mid area? Invoker really needs a fight happening close to him or X Scepter to feel like a true hero. To keep being relevant while he reaches the item, an Invoker player needs to have map awareness to use Sunstrike, always have mana regen that is usually fared by clarities to use his kills, to farm, and survivability items, but only when it's super necessary. Clockwork, Puck, and Tusk are some examples of heroes you need either Force or use Scepter to deal with. But how does he farm? We often talk about carry farming patterns, how mid 1 farms with Invoker. Usually shoves the lane, farms these 2 camps, comes back, and repeat. In this case, since there was a fight going on in the top lane, he feels safe to shove the next wave, and as he comes back, it's just natural to stack the Ancients. Another point I want to mention is how he pretty much never uses the Spirits to farm at this stage of the game. The Spirits cost way too much mana for how much they offer before level 15. As long as mid 1 walks through the map with Quas, he can sustain the damage he takes and deal more damage with Alacrity, while also preserving enough mana to use Sunstrike when needed. Mid 1 does show up to defend towers, which is what enables him the ability to farm as greedy as he is farming. As you can see though, an Invoker without eggs can be pretty underwhelming. While mid 1 complains about his teammate, he gets initiated on, and you can see how good Razor and Clock are against Invoker.
Can't kill them. Kill the Razor, please. Come. Kill Razor. Thanks.
That force is not nearly enough for him to get away, and he ends up fitting. This is the first real fight Radiant takes with Mid-1's Aghanim Scepter. Pay attention to how it unfolds. Clock traps Clinks, and as Dire goes to help, Mid-1 uses Tornado. A slight mix of miscommunication there. As he cold snaps Shadow Demon, pay attention how he doesn't commit Force Staff right away. A lot of people like to use everything at once, but Mid-1 uses his spells and items as it's needed. He has range to attack Shadow Demon, so there's no reason to just get close to him. He ends up using Force to disengage from Requiem, and pay attention to his decision making. As Enigma lands Black Hole on SF, he clicks on him to see the HP, the BKB duration, and knows that Sunstrike is indeed the only option. And I love how Mid-1 approaches this. Clock is his doom, so he alacrities the spirits and tries to stay around the fight. The spirits alone guarantee 1 kill.
They run into us, they will die.
And the Ice Wall is just beautiful. It completely locks Kazu, forcing him to take the worst path possible.
Come to Papa, Kazu! Come to Papa. Boy.
Another great fight for Mid-1's team. He realizes Dire is rushing, throws the Tornado, with Cold Snap he forces the U Scepter, and that setups the Ice Wall. This is the key part of the fight. But he's doing nothing, Bowie. Exactly. A lot of people just get overly excited and dump everything in a hero like Clockwork, but in reality he can take that hero out with his right clicks and the Midnight Pulse. That Ice Wall is also great because that's the only path that Dire can take to engage them, and since they got Aegis, they do feel like they need to fight. The Sunstrike was beautiful. And since Shadowfiend committed a BKB without ulting, all he needs is Cold Snap to take him down. He could have used Meteor, but he goes for the cheapest and cost-effective way to kill him. That kill is definitely worth at least a tier 3. Look how he uses Forward Spirits to block Hookshot, and eventually he blocks it from sheer luck.
I think the tower back.
When he starts farming those ancients, look at his positioning. He uses the spirits in the high ground and also stays in a place where he can force staff himself to the river in case he gets initiated. Crispy positioning. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the extended version of this video, check the link in the description. Pugna is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fog, Monib, and get better at the game. They have now great content on the new patch, and if you want to raise your MMR, it's a great time. Just figure out the patch faster than others and get those crispy wins. If winning MMR is not enough for you, you should definitely check out our new partner, Lootcase. There you can win and find beautiful cosmetics and go from 0 to hero. They also give you a bonus on every deposit you go for, so if you register with my referral link, you're gonna get an even bigger bonus, so check that out.